Welcome to another episode of Preparing for the Unexpected. I'm your host, Alex Fullick, and as always, we like to talk about things related to business continuity, emergency management, COVID, well-being, resilience, anything that helps you, your organization, or your community prepare for, respond to, and overcome adverse situations. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please feel free. You can find me on LinkedIn. I'm the only Alex Fullick there, and I do respond to everything I get. Alternatively, you can find me at alexfullick.com. And one quick announcement, I will be doing a keynote speech co-presenting with Margaret Millett at BCI World later this year, November 2022. And fingers crossed, it stays as an in-person conference, or at least the part that I'm presenting stays as in person this year. You may recognize my guest. He's back for his third appearance. Richard Warne, welcome back.
Thank you very much. Pleasure.
Two great segments. We've had some great conversations and lots of good information you've shared today. And we have our third topic. We're going to talk about built-in BCP, ensuring recovery happens without having to instigate it. Now, I'm guessing that's embedding business continuity into your organization, or am I wrong?
Yeah. I specifically, it's about embedding recovery strategies and giving people the power and the ability to do things themselves. Like many people, when we started out, sort of a business continuity event used to be like in quite big stages, so something would happen, something disastrous. It would then take a little while for somebody to realize that, hey, something's gone wrong. This is now business continuity. You'd then assemble the BCP team. You'd all go to a room. You'd analyze the event. You'd sit around and talk about it. Somebody might bring out the plan. It's just a little joke because I've never seen anybody ever do that. So you go straight into solving the problem, and you'd set up a list of actions and start to resolve the problem. And then there's always this expectation then from the senior management: how long are you going to take to resolve it? How many hours is this disruption going to be in place before it's sorted? And then you have that pressure from senior management or from the customers or your clients or whatever. So it kind of struck me as to, well, why do we have to go through all that? So sometimes, sure, yeah, the situation is so serious you have to go through that. But if you can manage things without going through all those stages and all those kind of something stops, something's assembled, something's responded, then it's much better. And I think a really good example has come out of COVID and the home working situation for customer service type companies. Like, I fully realize that home working doesn't apply to huge sectors of different industries. You can't have a home working factory, for example. But
right.
If you're in a customer service environment with technology as it is nowadays, there's no reason really why you can't have vast numbers of your staff working from home. And kind of COVID's proved that. I think it was going to happen anyway, but the COVID certainly accelerated it, accelerated the deployment of the technology, accelerated the willingness and openness of managers to use home working, maybe where they'd been skeptical before. What I've seen now is that's now almost become embedded in our organization. So when something happens, people go, oh, right, yeah. So there's a political demonstration outside the office tomorrow. We don't really want staff having to walk through all that. So the day before, the manager says, hey guys, everyone working from home tomorrow, or they sit there one night on their laptop and think, oh look, there's a big storm brewing in, and it's not going to be safe to go out. It's going to be a typhoon or whatever. So yeah, right. get staff to work from home the next day. And I've seen that since COVID, since we proved that home working works, and people know how to activate it. They don't need to, they don't need to sort of consult with the BCP team anymore. They don't need to have a meeting. You don't need to pull out your plan. You don't need to put some action steps in place. People have that power, and you empower them to do it, and those things just click into place, and they happen, and senior management don't really realize what's happened. They just see the business continuing to function. There's no complaints from the customers, there's no complaints from shareholders or clients or whatever. So,
and a lot of times they don't even know that 10 people in a department are working from home.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So
they don't even see them anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and as long as no one's complaining or moaning or shouting, and the customers are still happy, that's what we want to achieve. So for me, I think that's really the way I want to take business continuity. I want to move it away from this idea of it's a response to something bad happening, to more, how can you just make your business more adaptable and more responsive to events. I think a big part of it is horizon scanning, though. So you have to be more sort of proactive in seeing what's coming down the road. Certain areas in my job, we use local intelligence companies in certain regions to advise us of disruptions coming up. But if you've got that kind of intelligence flow or that horizon scanning going, you can make sure that whatever business continuity strategies you've already prepared are ready for when that next event arrives with you, and then things are just become seamless, and you just flex with each bump in the road, get on with things, continue to deliver your service. So for me, I think that's, we've talked about in the earlier sessions about maybe where change needs to happen in business continuity and what direction maybe it needs to go in. I think it's building it in, so it just happens like that, without this old school stuff that we used to do.
Sorry, is that from building relationships and working together?
Oh, yes.
So that if something happens, an incident, the help desk gets a call, they know right away these are the tools of which maybe a business continuity plan or a set of contingency strategies or whatever are available, that they can instantly pass along, rather than we have an incident, pick up call Alex and and take it from there. It's from building the relationships, and they know what's in place.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. But our, the program document that we have that describes our program lists all our matrix partners, all the different people we work and partner with. And I see it's my role. I have regular meetings with them all, either monthly meetings or quarterly meetings. My diary's full of them. Next week I'm sitting down with the guy from legal and compliance. Every month I meet someone from IT service desk. Or next week I'm meeting someone from the ITDR team. And it's just, it may not be something necessarily specific to talk about, but it's more of a catch up. Hey, what are you guys doing at the moment? What are you seeing? Have you got any concerns? Is there anything we can fix? And by meeting multiple people like that, I'm seeing the trends, and I can start to weave everything together, and spread my message.
It's giving everyone, empowering everyone to actually do what they need to do, rather than waiting to be told by me, the BCP guy, what to do.
Yeah. I had this discussion a long time ago with someone from IT who felt that like they were the whipping boys, you know, when anything went wrong, it was like, oh my God, what have IT done now?
I know a
By
few of those
talking
people.
about, if we, you know, BCP and IT and service ops get together, you know, and we talk about our issues and we solve these things and we work together, look how good we look, you know, because suddenly you stop all this bitching and arguing and finger pointing, you stop things happening in the first place, and you just start delivering a good service, and then everybody looks good, you know. And surely that's what you want. It makes your life easier.
Would exercising and testing also contribute to bringing some of those people together so that it helps them understand business continuity more?
Yeah. But again, I think there's sometimes a misconception about exercising and testing in our business. You see some practitioners almost using it as a way of frightening people. You know, I've seen posts on LinkedIn where someone's run an exercise and they've sort of like, oh, I'm going to scare the hell out of them today with my exercise. I think, what the hell are you going to achieve by scaring somebody? You know, they're not going to come along to the next exercise in 6 months' time if you scare them. So I like to try and run my exercise and tests more like a discussion, because I think you get better ideas out of people. So you might have a serious situation you want to present them with, which is fair enough. You know, you'll describe to them a serious but plausible event. You know, this has happened, it's really bad, X, Y, and Z's gone wrong. This is a situation you might be presented with on a Monday morning. You know, what would you do? To me, I say to them, there's no right or wrong answer, but as a team, let's discuss what we would do. What do you think's missing? Has anybody got any good ideas? Anything they want to share that maybe they've thought about? And I think you get much more out of that because people start volunteering information because they feel, you know, relaxed enough to think things through, and there's not any expectation that, you know, this exercise is 3 hours long, and by the end of the exercise you have to have, goes back to our tick list again, by the end of the exercise you have to have done A, B, and C and prove D, E, and F, which sometimes doesn't really tell you anything. But, you know, if you sit down and talk to a group of people for half an hour openly about a situation that the business might face, I think you get much more out of them, much more useful thought on how you can move forward and improve things for the future.
And that allows, you know, things like business continuity to activate without the business continuity person getting involved.
Yes, yeah. Which is the way it should be. You don't want that sort of start or stop thing you used to see with business continuity events. You know, we're now going to progress to stage 2 and stage 3, and it just feels very, very cumbersome way of doing things.
Well, like we said in the last episode, focusing on the process rather than the actual results you need, you know, by doing that, right?
Yep.
So, any last words on built-in BCP and ensuring that BCP can activate and is part of everything? Any final comments?
Not particularly, but if anyone out there is watching this has any ideas on this or uses this technique, then I'd be very interested to see what versions of this they use, and if they've got anything they'd like to share, because I think it's it's the way forward.
Yeah, and you can reach Richard on LinkedIn, or you can send me a note on LinkedIn, or just leave a comment down below in the comment section of this video. So, Richard, Thank you very much, and
you very much.
apologies that I should have had you here so much sooner.
That's
but,
okay.
but you're here now, so that's the main thing.
Yes, I'm here now. Yeah.
So thank you very much for sharing your time and your expertise. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, really good being on. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
My pleasure. And everybody watching and listening, stay prepared, everybody. If you liked that video, thumbs up. If you didn't like that video, thumbs down. But leave me a message and let me know your thoughts. Of course, don't forget to subscribe. And in the meantime, stay prepared, everybody.